Please note that I have tried to be as spoiler-free as possible in this video. However, it's impossible to offer commentary on a movie without at least vaguely touching on certain events and themes. Please proceed with caution if you have not yet seen the film. The time has finally come. Superman has soared into theaters with the fate of this new DC cinematic universe resting on his shoulders. I noticed that the DC logo included an image that was similar to this one in Superman #1, and I appreciated the symbolism. This film certainly felt like DC filmmaking was returning to a more cheerful era, although this film didn't lack gravitas. If you're wondering if the movie is worthwhile, the answer is a resounding yes. If you're a comic book reader, a fan of the Christopher Reeve films, or you grew up on a show like Super Friends or the Justice League, I can't imagine that you'll be disappointed with this film. Now, if you're a very casual moviegoer, you might feel a little overwhelmed by all of the comic book lore that was baked into this story. You might be wondering how Superman's origin was handled in this movie. The first word that comes to my mind is efficient. It hit the major beats that one would expect, but it left a couple of questions as well. When I do a full review on this channel after the film has been out for a few weeks, I'll address that further. If you're wondering about Superman's relationship with Lois, it was also handled in an efficient manner. I felt that this film needed to hit the ground running rather than spend time on a will they or won't they scenario with Lois and Clark. That's exactly how it unfolded. Their relationship was important, but it never felt like it was taking up screen time at the expense of world events. The action reminded me of Man of Steel. The aerial fights and powers of the various superpowered characters were all handled with jaw-dropping skill. There were also some unsettling moments of violence, and while they were well written, I would certainly caution parents against taking very young kids to this movie. There was a moment in the film that reminded me of a past battle from the Marvel DC All Access crossover. This was Superman's clash with Venom from that issue. I'm sure that the resemblance was coincidental, but seeing something like this in live action was shocking. And no, I don't mean to suggest that Venom was in the movie. Obviously, he wasn't. However, when you see this moment, you'll understand. The movie didn't shy away from some serious themes. The film featured a conflict between two fictional countries, an especially seedy politician, and of course, Lex Luthor's megalomaniacal goals. Some of the dialogue around Superman's involvement in world affairs reminded me of Captain America: Civil War, which drew inspiration from Marvel's Civil War crossover. If you see the film and you find that theme to be intriguing, let me recommend the DC trade paperback JLA Superpower, as well as the 2002 Green Lantern story Hand of God, both of which involved Superman, and they dealt with the idea of beings who are so powerful that they could alter world events. These two stories have very different endings, which showcase how perilous and unpredictable that scenario would be. And yes, the subjects of due process and the treatment of immigrants are addressed in this movie. For 87 years, Superman has been portrayed as a refugee, with compassion for the downtrodden. So it's only logical that this film would offer some commentary on that. There has been a lot of internet discussion about the intentions of Jor-El and Lara when they sent Kal-El to Earth. I'm not sure that their intentions are a closed chapter in James Gunn's new continuity. But if the story remains as is, it's a radical departure from the comics. I'm currently holding off judgment until we see how that unfolds. As far as actual criticisms of the movie, I have very few. I will say that Krypto's presence became a minor distraction as the movie progressed. His frenetic energy was out of place in some scenes, and this seemed to be by design, since both Mr. Terrific and Superman expressed annoyance over Krypto's antics. However, I did appreciate a particular moment between Krypto and Lex near the film's end. Now that I've gotten my minor criticisms out of the way, it's time to talk about my favorite character. You guessed it, Robot number 4. Obviously, I'm kidding. My favorite character was, of course, Green Lantern Guy Gardner. Nathan Fillion embodied Guy Gardner's personality in every way. If you were concerned that Green Lantern would be an afterthought in this movie, you can rest easy. Mr. Fillion surely made Green Lantern fans and casual moviegoers alike long for more of Guy in live action. There was a moment where he was both egotistical and heroic in the same breath, and it was glorious. In fact, each member of the Justice Gang could carry his or her own solo movie or solo series. Eddie Gathegi was absolutely electric as Mr. Terrific, and it's easy to root for a guy who seems so enthusiastic about playing a role. I was familiar with Isabella Merced from The Last of Us, and I'm still amazed at how polished she is for an actress of only 24. Both of these characters had scenes where they took center stage, and DC fans should feel satisfied with their adaptations. There's so much to unpack with this film, but the most pressing question was whether it garnered enough attention to launch this new universe. All of the early indicators are positive. For that, I'm thankful. Moreover, as a Green Lantern fan who has waited 14 years to see the Corps come back to the big screen, I'm more eager now than ever to see Guy, John, and Hal together on Lanterns. Please let me know your thoughts on the film. However, remember to keep comments spoiler-free. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my many collectible reviews, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I would certainly appreciate it. And I'll be back with more Superman content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.